Hi, I'm Kizzie Jones, and perhaps you've heard me read from one of my 3 Dachshund tall tales on YouTube. But today I'm going to read about real dogs in my real life. I was a contributor to an anthology, Writing in Place, Prose and Poetry from the Pacific Northwest with my writing sisters, a group of women here in Edmonds, Washington. And I'm going to read from my contribution, the Dog Chronicles. The 2 Kizzies. My job interview for the Director of Spiritual Care at a retirement home included a tour of the facility. I was ushered into the activity department with the introduction. This is Kizzie Jones, a candidate for the Director of Spiritual Care. The customary murmurs of formalities followed, but the expression on the face of one gentleman, Arlen, the music therapist, had noticeably changed. Nearby, I saw a husky lounging on the floor. I remarked on the beauty of the dog and inquired about its name. It was then I understood the change in Arlen's expression as he replied, "Her name is Kizzie." I smiled and said I love dogs, and from my point of view, she couldn't have a nicer name. Arlen continued to seem uncomfortable. He explained further, "Her name is really Elizabeth, but I wanted a strong husky name beginning with the letter K. I like the name Kizzie, but I have to call her Kizzie Elizabeth so she will respond to her new name." Amused, I said, "Arlen, my name is Kizzie Elizabeth." I knew it was a sign that either I should turn and run or that I would be perfect for the job. I did get the position, but such a coincidence is not without its unique consequences. The running joke became, "We have a Kizzie that barks and one that prays. Which are you?" And I would reply, "It depends on the time of day." Once when a resident was in anguish over the loss of a loved one, a staff member asked if she would like to speak with Kizzie. The resident looked back in irritated disbelief. "You want me to talk to Arlen's dog?" But the most embarrassing mix-up occurred when someone called out a warning on the healthcare floor. "Whoops, watch where you step. Kizzie just had an accident in the hallway." The next reading is titled Max. "He's been badly abused. He'll need special care," the Dachshund rescue attendant told me up front as I prepared to adopt my new pet. Max, picture perfect on the outside, with his long red body, stubby legs, narrow muzzle, and elongated, ever-alert ears, was deeply wounded emotionally from years of harsh treatment. Canes and walkers would put Max into such a trembling state that he would hide behind my legs. I could only surmise he'd been beaten frequently and viciously. It would take time and consistent love to help Max heal. Slowly, as he grew to trust me and his new environment, he revealed his unique gift. Max reached out to those who were grieving or dying. Each day he joined me in my work at the retirement residence where I served as a spiritual care provider. Slowly he became acquainted with the residents. People commented how handsome, calm, and wise he seemed with his dark, soulful eyes. Max's gifts were revealed in unexpected ways. One day, a resident came into my office and sat down. The normally shy Max jumped up from his bed and onto her lap, and she began to cry. Max sensed her grief even before she spoke. His gentle attention invited her to tell her story. Max's nuzzling dismissed the need for initial small talk and quickly moved our conversation to a deeper level. Another time, a resident and I sat outside in the sun. At first, Max kept his normal reserved distance. As I listened to the resident share a tragic story from her past, I realized Max had crawled over me and sprawled onto the woman's lap. I looked up into her face and saw tears streaming down from under her dark glasses. Again, Max had sensed the woman's grief and had gone over to comfort her. Max also had an awareness of when people were on life's last journey. A retired military commander showed affection for Max over the years. As ill health took its toll, no matter how weak he was, he always had the strength to pat Max. Afterwards, Max usually curled back onto my lap. One morning, however, he stretched out, laid his head over the resident's arm, and nuzzled up against him. An hour later, the resident died. Max had sensed the shift and offered his unique companionship for the commander's final campaign. Families are often disheartened when they can no longer connect with a loved one with advanced dementia. Max's presence frequently evoked a reaction from the resident to reach out and pet him. Once the resident was able to connect with the dog, families found the resident more accessible to their own loving touches and presence. Max and I loved our daily walks together. He also was my commute companion. As I drove, he sat in the front passenger seat with his own quilt and seatbelt. He was an ideal listener on long workday drives. At night, he was the perfect bed warmer, no matter what the season. He knew to curl up in his spot and share the space and covers. Over years of easing the struggles for others, Max let me know when it was time to ease his suffering from health issues and to let him go. When I rescued Max, I expected to care for his special needs stemming from abuse. I never imagined how, despite his tragic beginning, Max would care for the needs of so many others. Thank you for joining me. I hope you will seek out this book. It's available anywhere books are sold, and read more from Writing in Place. Bye now.